And then what did you make of Sophie Cunningham's flagrant foul on JC towards the end?
It was a flagrant foul.
You think it's like defending Caitlin or defending the team, or how do you view just how it all?
I view it as a flagrant foul.
That's about the game too.
Yeah, well, I mean, you guys came for basketball.
Yeah,
Let's talk about basketball.
Yeah.
Come on now.
What do you think of just how you all were able to pull away in the second half, Caitlin in particular?
We're going to the Commissioner Cup Championship.
Let's go!
That's pretty exciting. Y'all want to talk about that? Let's talk about that.
What do you think, again, in the second half?
The WNBA's biggest star may be prepared to move abroad, and leagues are already circling with offers of genuine respect and protection. If this rumor proves to be accurate, the WNBA won't just lose a player, they'll lose their money. Caitlin Clark may be packing her bags and not for a road game. Word on the street is that she's had enough of referees officiating like they're blindfolded at a birthday party and WWE-level fouls from Marina Maberry, ratings for Cows, Queen, and Cultural Phenomenon. Just picture creating your empire and then seeing it vanish because you were unable to raise the alarm about a flagrant foul.
WNBA record. This is her second season. And you put the numbers together, that's like 10 seasons. That girl did it in 10 seasons. That means she had won a season. Caitlin Clark is... when Caitlin Clark gets to 10 seasons, she's going to have 100 of these. And y'all can't get a girl her roses. Now, I don't like the fact that she be getting woke because she don't want all these lesbians to be mad at her. At the end of the day, is the woman putting in the work, she's putting in the work. And
Caitlin Clark is the star of a circus that expects her to provide assists, pose for promotional photos, pack arenas, eat elbows, and still say thank you to the haters. Official fans are tired of watching her treated like the league's personal punching bag while the WNBA alternates between growth and gatekeeping. It's not only unfair, it's exhausting, and people are beginning to wonder how long it will be before she says enough and leaves.
This is all going according to plan. This is ideal. Caitlin Clark is holding up her end by being awesome and by being a trash-talking jerk on the court. Love it. Her teammates are holding up their end by having her back. The other players in the league are holding up their end by not liking her. Perfect. Couldn't have written a better script. Caitlin is talking trash to this girl's hard fouling her. Her teammate Sophie Cunningham, who got a black belt in Taekwondo at the age of 6, she's like, I will F you guys up. All of it's great, and Caitlin's a killer. 10 out of 10.
Not only are many fans irritated, but many are furious at what began as a few protective. The controversy over Caitlin's tweets has escalated into a full-fledged confrontation between her admirers and a league that continues to treat her as expendable. There is a growing resistance calling for genuine responsibility. It is no longer just noise.
Caitlin Clark is driving the WNBA insane. It's to the point that she may need to step away from the WNBA, have a billionaire come in that has the money to prove a point, and say, Caitlin, I'll pay you $50 million just to see if the WNBA can make it without you. Let's go create a complete different league and expose the hell out of the WNBA just to embarrass this Angel Reese girl that Jameel Hill just said she could go down as a Michael Jordan of WNBA.
Let's get the facts straight. The WNBA is only being mentioned by anyone outside of niche blogs and Tuesday night sidebar ratings because of Caitlin Clark. Record-breaking jersey sales, she is a human highlight reel who keeps this league alive, and the WNBA pays her back with missed calls. Breaking tickets are gone in minutes, even in cities that forgot they had a team. She's carrying the league on her back, and all she's receiving in return is silence and bruises. If this is support, just think of what sabotage would look like. There's more flying elbows and locker room ice than a professional wrestling match.
I will say this, when Caitlin Clark was out, they lost 55% of their viewership. So basically, Caitlin Clark is paying all their salaries.
Pretty much.
I mean, at the end of the day, you can hate her as much as you want, but she's brought in millions of fucking dollars. So you should be kissing her ass.
And that kind of defeated the purpose of Angel Reese's argument of she's like, hey, it's not just Caitlin Clark that is bringing all the viewership to the WNBA. It's like, well, it definitely is. It's like it kind of proved that with the viewership rating being down that she significantly increases viewership.
They tried so hard to compare her to Caitlin Clark.
When it was claimed that she was being welcomed into the league like all the other rookies, did you mean that she was mugged at midcourt while the refs whistled Dixie and turned away if they had just dropped their glasses in a Looney Tunes cartoon? Then there is Marina Maberry, who chose to give a late game shove like she was trying out for a linebacker position. The foul was so aggressive that the NBA probably sent her a contract out of confusion, but of course Caitlin gets up like nothing happened because being hit is now just part of her pregame warm-up stretch. Caitlin doesn't need a welcome party. She needs a security detail and a chiropractor. Shoot, dodge a flying elbow, rinse, and repeat. What's really crazy is that every time Caitlin even breathes to hard close to a veteran, she's called entitled. When she doesn't take it personally, they accuse her of being distant. She could save a puppy during halftime and still receive criticism for not passing the ball to a teammate instead. Meanwhile, the league's fan base is out there doing digital CPR on her. Every time someone clocks her like it's amateur night at Fight Club, fans hit rewind, break it down frame by frame, like it's the Zapruder movie, and scream into space. How is that not a flagrant?
Fever and Sun hold a brawl and a basketball game breaks out. This was something. Caitlin Clark, without question, gets raked across the face. I think she gets poked in the eye, but it's difficult to tell.
If you're the Indiana Fever, you cannot stand by and let that happen. They need to make it clear to the officials. If you're going to let this happen, then we're going to stand up for our player and make a mess of the game, and you're going to have a big mess on your hands. So you need to stand up for this. You need to do something about this.
You've just learned with definitive data and beyond question that Caitlin Clark controls more than half the audience for the entire WNBA.
However, the league was silenced by the referees over the dress code rather than player safety. Imagine Caitlin Clark signing a shoot deal, hitting the broadcast booth, or simply taking her skills to Europe, where basketball is basketball and not a high-stakes game of let's see how much abuse one woman can endure before she snaps overseas. She would get paid, protected, and probably greeted at the airport with flowers rather than flying elbows. Let's face it, the WNBA is running a Caitlin Clark content farm and feeding her the same slop every week. It's like the entire ecosystem has gone crazy, and fans are pleading her to leave. Fans, the media, and even those who pretend not to like her secretly look at the schedule to see when she's performing because, whether they like her or not, she is the star of the entire show, and nobody wants to watch the main character be undermined in every episode. Even the promotions are awkward, and even though she has contributed more to the league into seasons than other franchises have in 20, she is treated like a guest at her own party. Come see Caitlin Clark, and the others, it's like she's Beyonce and the league as a whole is completely bewildered. No disrespect, simply the facts about Destiny's Child.
I know a lot of us were expecting some sort of dip since Caitlin Clark has been out with injury, but I don't think all of us were expecting the entire viewership of the entire WNBA to be down. And this tweet from Christine Brennan really stuck out to me. She said one player gets injured and more than half the TV audience for the entire league disappears. Has any other athlete ever had that kind of impact on a sport? Golf without Tiger definitely dropped precipitously on occasion, but not like this. This news is alarming for the league, and it's alarming for the league because this is such a crucial year for the WNBA.
Additionally, it's not that bad that she keeps gaslighting people. She's just being dramatic. She needs to earn her stripes, really, because the last time we looked, she had more stripes than a zebra in a barcode factory. She's out here grinning, while averaging 25 points, 8 assists, and 12 microaggressions per game. What else is she supposed to do? Levitate fans aren't naive. They see the double standard, the way the league goes out of its way for some players while ignoring others. The forced storylines, the passive-aggressive interviews, and the locker room politics. They're sick of seeing Caitlyn struggle for a spot on a team she created, and they're sick of seeing her be passed over in the all-star voting as if it were a middle school popularity contest. The league that couldn't stop talking about her would suddenly have to face a very quiet reality if she leaves after this season. It won't be because she couldn't hack it. Rather, it will be because she's smart enough to know when she's being played. Let's face it, leaving could be the power. Move of the century. No more crowded arenas, no more streams that break records. There will be no more casual fans watching to see what she does next.
My girl, Caitlyn Clark, I am here to propose a solution. I think they need an enforcer. You know, someone who comes off the bench to kind of lay the smackdown on an opposing team member. I want to get the word out to the Indiana Fever that I am available. I'm ready to identify as whatever I need to in order to get the job. They need someone like me. Why? Because I'm not afraid of any 6-foot-tall lesbian. I work out. Now, I have a couple of real good go-to moves in my bag of tricks.
What happens next? They bring back promotional bobbleheads and offer tickets at a discounted price. Put motivational sayings on the court and hope that people will ignore the spoiler alert. When Caitlyn Clark leaves the WNBA, it turns into a trivia question once more. Remember that league that had that superstar for a hot minute? Don't even start with the she stays and toughs it out crowd. She has done so by playing defense against her own success rather than winning games, attacking referees with oatmeal for eyes and receiving backlash from the media. At some point, toughness isn't the answer. Self-respect is, and while we're at it, how is the league not taking advantage of this moment? After being treated like a human pinata, you would think that Caitlyn Clark would be launching red carpets, promoting her, and creating marketing campaigns that don't look like they were photoshopped in 2003, but instead there is more shade, more hits, and more missed opportunities. She is a once-in-a-generation star who is relatable, marketable, and somehow still humble. Fans have had enough and are not only watching the games. They are also rooting for her and posting videos criticizing the league and demanding justice. Acting as unpaid interns in the Caitlyn Clark Public Relations Department. If she decides to step down at the end of this season, she will not be leaving alone because she will be taking millions of devoted viewers, the kind who purchase tickets and watch games with her. There are no words to express how she unabashedly screams MVP every time she touches the ball while sporting the merchandise.
A word to describe Caitlyn Clark.
Amazing.
Yes.
A beast. She is the truth. She's the truth, and she was a rookie. Knock down the three-pointer, get to the rim. She can get to the free throw line. She's crafty.
Yeah, very crafty.
Crafty, so sometimes she look like she's coming off for a three-point shot and she backdoors you for a layup. She gets her teammates involved. She can pass, she can shoot. Man, she is a complete basketball player. And you know what I want to see? You know, so many people talked about Sabrina and Steph, you know, with that three-point shooting contest. You know what I want to see in the WNBA All-Star game? I want to see Sabrina Ionescu.
The fans are ready to pack her bags, drive her to the airport, and cheer as she boards a plane to somewhere that genuinely respects greatness in a league that is desperate for attention. So if the WNBA wants to keep her, they better start acting like it. Right now, it's giving ungrateful roommate energy. Caitlyn Clark was the feast, but if all she gets in return is crumbs and chaos, don't be shocked when she decides she's had her fill, and just when you think it can't get more absurd, here comes. The cherry on top of this flaming hot mess, the ESPN think pieces the ones bending over backwards, sideways, and upside down to explain why Caitlyn Clark getting shoved like she owed Marina Mavery lunch money is somehow her fault. Yes, really, because Apparently having the audacity to talk trash at a professional sports league is now grounds for getting tossed across the court like a gym towel. Forget the actual shove, forget the fact that Caitlyn didn't retaliate, didn't throw a punch, didn't even flinch. She just walked it off like the queen of composure. She is stuck to basketball and kept her head in the game. Meanwhile, ESPN commentators are out here with their detective caps acting like they cracked the Da Vinci Code because she once smirked after hitting a deep three. She brought it on herself, they say, like she asked to be body slammed between possessions.
Caitlin Clark has decided to quit the WNBA and move on and go play over in Europe. I do not blame her. I applaud it. I say do it. Get as far away from the WNBA as you can. Let that league sink. Okay? Do not help them. Caitlin, get away. I believe you could create your own league. Okay? You could be the player that creates whatever, the next professional women's basketball league. Let this one just go and let Caitlyn try to build the next
This is a crazy notion. It's sports, not Sunday brunch, so perhaps chatting trash is a part of the game. Newsflash. If you're not chirping, you're not competing. Kobe lived for it, and Michael Jordan did it. In a sense, psychological warfare was practically invented by Larry Bird, but Caitlin Clark's remarks are disrespectful, provocative, and they open the door for players to stop playing basketball and start embracing their inner MMA fighter. Even rival players, some of whom would love nothing more than to shut her down on the court, have essentially stated, yeah, that shove was out of pocket. These are rivals, not her teammates or fans, some of whom have faced her head-to-head, and are still able to distinguish between tough basketball's downright thuggy. Despite this, they are more sensible than half of the paid analysts who act as though they have ever touched a basketball because, let's be honest, if Caitlin Clark had even considered responding with a shove of her own, you would have seen it on every sports program, news outlet, and most likely a dramatic reenactment on Lifetime Out of Control. They find a way to blame her for being pushed, which is similar to blaming your mailbox for being struck by a careless driver. Well, it was standing a little too confidently on the curb, but the rookie finally loses it. But she kept it classy and clean, didn't try to make it personal, and didn't fall for the bait.
I get your opinion because it's been a minute on this Angel Reese, Caitlin Clark stuff that's been going on. Brittany Griner a couple of weeks ago in a video says trash effing white girl when she was playing Caitlin Clark. What's your just kind of 30,000 foot view of this?
There is not an organization more dedicated and committed to self-imploding than the WNBA. The WNBA was like handed the golden egg that is Caitlin Clark. Yeah. And they have done everything to just self-destruct. Yeah. Whether it's these totally crazy like racial investigations that have been proven a hoax